Hi friends, hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having oh my god, I hope you guys are having a good day. I was wearing this outfit with like this hat and like this, I have new merch, always plug, and I was wearing this outfit and Charles looked at me downstairs and he just looked over at me and he was like,
please don't ever get lip filler.
And I was like, do I need lip filler? He was like, no. He was like, but you look like an influencer in that outfit, but I feel like you're going down an influencer path now. I was like, okay, I won't get lip filler. I would never get lip filler. I have such anxiety. It's not even because I don't like it or I think it's like stupid. I just have so much anxiety about my health in general. I would never put myself through unnecessary health procedures, if that makes sense. Anyway, hello. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions, to do a Q&A. Number one, I like to do Q&As whenever I have kind of big bursts of growth. And number two, I needed easy content for this week because it's the week of Thanksgiving and also the week before my impending doom, aka Glomus. So I needed something quick and easy that I could put up. So this is what you're getting. The first question, do you ever get recognized in public? If so, is it awkward or a bit uncomfortable? I've been recognized a couple of times, not a lot. It definitely is like just a couple. The first time was really sweet because it was my first, I was only at like 10,000 subscribers, I think, or like 12,000 or something. And he was so nice and so sweet. We took a selfie together. It was actually like a student studying abroad kind of situation, or I think he was getting his master's at U of R. I hope I'm not like doxing him, but he lives in like a different country. So it was so like random happenstance that we like ran into each other at like a random restaurant that I never go to. And it was really sweet. And then I've had a few people recognize me. Another really cute one was when I was in Texas, and that was just because I literally went to like a random Target in Texas that we had to go to because I needed sunglasses, and this girl recognized me and she was so freaking cute and so sweet. Guys, it's not really that awkward. It's kind of fun to like see people in person, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of interesting to like see analytics in person. People are like, oh my god, I know you, you know what I mean? There was one time that was so awkward, and it was because I was at the nail salon with my friend and we were getting our toenails done, and we're just talking, and these two girls are like sitting on a couch waiting to get their nails done, and they keep looking back at me and like staring at me and then whispering to each other, and I hear one of them go, oh my god, I know that's her, I know that's her. And then I see them look on their phones and they're like scrolling through their phones, they're looking at their phones, then they're looking back at me and they're like, oh my god, that's definitely her. And
just say hello.
that one was weird because I felt weird. I was like, I didn't know if I was just being paranoid, but I was like, no, that's so weird. Like, oh, they're talking about me. Like, I know that. And it was so awkward because I wish they had just said like hi or been like anything, you know what I mean? Instead of, I get maybe because they like weren't positive it was me, but that one was definitely like so weird. That one was awkward. It's only awkward if like people don't say something. If you had to live anywhere but New York, where would you live? I would live in Seattle. I've always wanted to live in Seattle. I think it's beautiful. I love the rain and I love the cold. I literally would love it to be eternally like spring fall-esque, like cold and rainy. So probably Seattle. I love Seattle. How has YouTube changed your life? Oh my god. It's weird because like it's kind of changed my life a lot, but it's also kind of not. Like, it's strange because my day-to-day life, like I go to school and I go to class, and like no, my friends in like class all know that I have a YouTube channel and I like talk about it. People will ask and stuff. One girl actually found out I had it because T-Spill retweeted one of my tweets, and then she found me through that, which was kind of funny. But so they all know, and we'll talk about it and stuff. They'll ask me how it's going, or like they'll notice I hit a milestone and they'll be happy for me. But like nobody in class is like, oh my god, it's Smokey Glow. Like nobody cares. And I go to class and I pretty much forget I have a YouTube channel when I'm at class, or like when I'm at my internship / like it's kind of like a job kind of thing because I go there so much. When I'm there, nobody knows who I am or cares. I don't even talk about it there at all, and like I don't even think about it when I'm there because like when you're in a setting that's so the polar opposite of YouTube, it's very easy to forget YouTube exists. But I think it's changed my life in the sense that it's cool. It's like a really cool thing, and it's changed my life in the sense that I think YouTube, I think this is gonna sound inauthentic, but it's the truth. I think YouTube definitely changed my life in the aspect of I'm much more productive as a human being. It's forced me to be more productive. and like just be better with my time, and because I want to keep doing this and I want it to be successful. So I put a lot of my time into it, and it's helped me a lot with like time management and stuff like that. So that's one of the biggest ways to change my life. What is your favorite and least favorite part about being on YouTube? Favorite part? Talking with you guys in the comments of my videos. I love doing that. And also getting your guys' reactions to things and getting different perspectives to things. I really enjoy that because most of my videos are pretty commentary based. So it's awesome to get to hear your reactions to things. My least favorite part about being on YouTube, I think I don't love being speculated about and talked about, which can be seen as hypocritical because I speculate about people, but I don't love when people speculate about me and like when they don't know anything. I don't know, I guess there's a specific example I'm thinking of where I have like very briefly touched on my sobriety on my channel and have just kind of very overviewed been like, I'm almost 6 years sober now from alcohol. And I've been sober, and I haven't ever really touched on that story or like what happened that made that. And that's a personal choice, which I'm totally allowed to make that personal choice. However, and I got comments from people in my comments on my channel being like, you're just it was on like a declutter or something. They were like, you're just replacing your addiction with shopping. And it's like, you know literally nothing about that at all. And that's my choice that I made to tell you nothing, but you know nothing about that. And so I think people speculating in those situations on things that like I don't even talk about, I think is really frustrating. And that's one of the worst parts. Like you want to just tell a person to fuck off, but then you can't, because like you can't. I try really hard not to snap back at people anymore just because I find that it's not good for me. It's probably not good for them. So much better to just ignore things. But I still sometimes occasionally am like, okay, fuck you. Like, that's a douche thing to say. What's your favorite music? I really love acoustic music. I have a Sirius XM in my car now, and I constantly am listening to Coffee House station. It's so relaxing, and I love acoustic covers of like pop songs or even like rock songs. Like I love covers, acoustic covers. It's a very random genre, but it's like my favorite thing to listen to when I'm alone in my car. I also listen to a lot of audiobooks though. The only real reason I listen to so much music is because my boyfriend, he loves listening to music in the car, but I'm much more of like a listen to like YouTube videos or listen to audiobooks kind of person. Do you and Charles ever have different opinions on topics you care about? Charles is my boyfriend. Yes, all the time. We always... We disagree about so much. It's actually really funny. We agree in the places that I think it matters, and we disagree in places where it's kind of like, okay, you have your opinion, I have mine. We definitely disagree on like a couple major social issues. Like politically, we align very well. We both are very similar in our mindset politically, which is great. I don't think I personally could be in a relationship with someone who thinks crazy, like drastically different politically than I do, okay? As far as like social issues and like kind of like cancel culture and all these different types of things, like he thinks very differently than I do. I think we both find middle grounds in some ways, but we definitely think differently. We're very different with food. We have very different taste in food. We also have very differing opinions on volumes. He might get mad at me for talking about this, but I get so mad every night because every night I come to bed and bedtime for me is like chill time. We're gonna relax. Volume is low. Everything is quiet. Like he will just randomly start playing like Tap Tap Revolution on his freaking phone, blaring like Thank You Next by Ariana Grande while he's playing the game with no regard for me. Like he doesn't care that I'm trying to sleep. He doesn't care that I'm tired. He doesn't care. He just does whatever he wants. We disagree so heavily on volume. And then he's always like, well, you're always nagging me. And I'm like, well, you're always being inconsiderate. So let's talk about that. So him and I definitely disagree. That's like our biggest fight as a couple now, honestly. What do you think is the most eye-roll stupid YouTube drama of 2019? LOL, love you. Love you, thank you. The most eye-roll and stupid drama? There's been a lot. Pretty much anything that has to do with like shade on Twitter. I typically, unless it's like outwardly calling a person out or like being upfront about calling a person out, subtweets I think are dumb. I think drama surrounding subtweets is very dumb. I don't like it. Oh, Cara C, who has a YouTube channel you guys should go check out. Cara said, what are the best and worst parts of your channel's huge growth this year? Yeah, I think the best part, well, let's start with the worst, I guess. I think, no, what's the best? The best part is obviously the growth. Like it's so fun and it's so cool and it's really unexpected. It's not something I ever thought was gonna happen. Being at the time that I'm filming this, I'm very close to 100,000 subscribers. I think I'm like 1,000 away or like 1,100 away. Being that close to such a big milestone and feeling like it kind of happened really quickly. Like I feel like I hit 50K and now I'm here. Like I don't know how this happened. The best part is obviously like the growth. I never in a bajillion years thought that I would ever get any sort of play button from YouTube. So knowing that I'm possibly going to be getting like the silver play button makes me literally emotional. Like I cry when I think about it because I can't even understand that. Like that is so exciting. I think maybe one of the worst parts is I can't keep up with comments like I used to, and that sucks. Not being able to heart all the comments and even read through them or respond to them like I used to really sucks, but I had to, again, a lot of its boundaries, I had to set limits with myself because I found that I was like always on my phone trying to keep up with the comments. And you now have like, when you grow like this, you have videos with like 1,800 comments and there's just no way, like I have to sit there all day and heart everything, and I just don't have the time to do that anymore. And I think that part kind of sucks. And I think also it does become kind of like sad that I don't like, I feel like when in the beginning I had like an OG group of people who commented on every video and I like would talk to them and like I knew who they were. And I think it's sad that you kind of lose that as you grow, but I also think there's benefits to that because I get to talk to so many more of you and it's such a diverse group of people the way that it's growing, and I think that's really cool. So I think it has its pros and cons, but I think that is kind of the sad part. You kind of lose the sense of like small community feeling, which is kind of sad. I also am just waiting for the exposed videos being like, she's changed, or like why I hate Smokey Glow. Like I'm just waiting for those videos. I know they're coming. I just feel it in my bones that that's gonna happen. And I was talking to Charles about it and I was like, honestly, because I was like, what if Charles, I have this like deep, this is another thing I hate about growing. I have this deep rooted fear now of being canceled. And I was talking to Charles about it and he was like, what would you be canceled for? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, being a hypocrite. He was like, have you been a hypocrite? I was like, no, but if you, I guarantee over the past 2 years, I've made over 400 videos. So I guarantee you could splice together some clips and make me look like the biggest hypocrite on the planet. And I was like, that's so anxiety inducing. Like, I don't know, that has been anxiety inducing. Canceled. Ugh, scary, very scary. Oh, this is kind of relevant to what I talked about at the beginning. Would you ever get fillers, Botox, permanent face change, etc.? No. And I don't have any, this is no tea or shade to anyone who does do that because I don't see any issue. Like your face, your choice, do whatever you want. I just think for me, it's not really an option. It's not something I would want to do. I like my face. Some of you don't, but that's okay. I do. And I don't think I would need to get one. What is your biggest goal in the future and what inspires you? My biggest goal is to get my master's degree. And then actually I've lately been thinking about going on to get a PhD. And I think that would be really awesome if I could do that. So maybe, probably not immediately after finishing grad school, but something down the line, like when I'm in my 30s, I would love to get a PhD, particularly in like child advocacy or child trauma or just getting to learn more about those subjects because I'm really interested in them. So that would be probably my biggest goal. What inspired you? Just, I think, I don't talk about social work, like the actual job that I do right now as much, mostly for confidentiality purposes. Like I don't want to dox where I'm doing my internship just because I don't want to. But I am working with kids. I've talked about that a little bit. And I think working with kids even more, especially kids that are in a lower socioeconomic class or kids who have faced an extreme amount of trauma, which typically comes from living in a lower socioeconomic class, because if you think about it, being hungry and starving is a form of trauma. A lot of kids have families that are split, which can cause forms of trauma for kids. So I think just learning more about trauma and trauma-informed practice when it comes to helping kids cope is really interesting to me and something I really enjoy doing. And so I think that would be an inspiration for going on to wanting to do more with that. I think eventually my like end goal, what would be so cool, would be being able to be an advocate for children at a macro level. So fighting for like legislation change that protects kids. I think that would be really cool because I think there's a lot of holes in the system that need to be patched, you know? Can you give us insider tea on Glomas? Ooh, let's see. Okay, I'll give you one Glomus hint because it's going to be happening in like a week. I think exactly a week from this video is when something crazy is happening. I'll give you a couple hints. So first hint is I'm doing a collab with a person I have respected and admired since before I started YouTube, who I have loved and like genuinely have a deep love for her. And I'm very, very excited. And I feel like you guys are going to be so excited. And I can't wait because I know we share like a similar people. I know a lot of you guys watch her too. So I'm very excited about that. And the other insider tea on Glomus, I might have something insane happening in the middle. That's gonna kind of be crazy. It's probably something that I've been dreaming about for the past like 4 years that's like actually coming to fruition. So just wait for that. I can't say anything else, but I'm very excited. How has your anxiety been lately? Your video story time about it, I loved. Thank you. I love that video. I'm glad I was able to like sit down and chat with you guys. My anxiety has been okay. I think I'm gonna make like a whole update video when things are like actually better, but I'm in the process and I'm taking care of myself, and I appreciate you guys who have checked in on me and like made sure I'm doing okay. I really appreciate it. I appreciate anyone who reached out to me and said they liked the video or they related to it, because I think I feel like sometimes anxiety can feel so isolating because you feel like you're going crazy and you feel like you're so alone. So like having a community of people share openly about their anxiety, I think is really important. So I appreciate that. Iced or hot coffee? Iced. I hate hot beverages, except tea. I will drink some tea, but it has to cool first. I can't do like steaming hot beverages. I literally want to cry. This is actually kind of an interesting question. Thoughts on beauty rooms? Are they something you aspire to have or extremely wasteful? I think that's an interesting question. Obviously, I have one. This isn't just a beauty room. It is also like an office. I store all my clothes here. I film here. It's a tax write-off. I think it just depends on like personal preference. Like, what do you have? Like, what do you want to have? And I think if you have, I think I'm a firm believer that like makeup wearers, even if you just put on your mascara in the morning, I've always said this, that makeup for me is a form of meditation. Doing my makeup is a form of morning meditation. It helps me just like center myself. It's like one of the few times I'm not anxious is when I'm doing my makeup. So I'm a firm believer that having a space that reflects that, especially for someone like me who views makeup in that way, is really important. And that's why having a room was really cool. However, getting this room was because of my YouTube channel. I didn't, like, Charles would never have just like given me a room for my makeup if I didn't also have a YouTube channel. At the old house, it was actually our guest bedroom. I just put my desk in there, and then slowly it creeped into like an office makeup room. And then when we got this house, we knew there had to be kind of a set aside room for this because this is what I do. So with that being said, I don't think I would have this crazy of a setup if I didn't do YouTube. However, I think people should be allowed to, you know, I have a whole video on how I feel about the environment and how I feel like a lot of it is corporations. And do I think that being a smart consumer is important? Yes. Do I think women should be shamed for having hobbies that they devote space to? No, because nobody would ever say a man's man cave in the basement with a ton of video games and like a foosball table he plays once a year is wasteful. So I don't understand why the hobbies that women might have, traditionally women, obviously boys do makeup, but why hobbies traditionally women have would be considered like wasteful. That's kind of how I feel about that. That's a good question though, because I think you could see it both ways for sure. All right, this is the last question I'll answer. How do you decide what to share about yourself on the internet? It feels so intimidating. So I think in the beginning, I was definitely way more open about like everything. And I just didn't care. And I still don't care to a certain extent about most things, but I think there are some things I've decided to keep more private, and I think that's okay. I don't think you should have to share everything, but I don't find it intimidating to talk to people. I think a weird part about YouTube is you kind of become weirdly desensitized to like the sheer amount of human beings and human eyeballs that are watching you. Like 10,000 people might watch this video and that like doesn't register with me. Like to me, I'm still just talking to myself basically, because that's what I'm doing. Like maybe Charles can hear me, but like I'm talking to myself. And so it's weirdly not intimidating to me. And even when I see numbers, I'm not like, oh my God, I so regret that all those people are gonna see it. I'm just a pretty open person. I've always been a pretty open person. You could ask pretty much any of my friends. But I think there are YouTubers who aren't, and I think they have very successful channels doing what they do. I think my niche is talking, and that's talking about other people, myself, makeup, like all those things. It's just not really intimidating to me. I don't know. Never really has been. But that's gonna be it for me, you guys. I hope you like this video. I hope you're gonna have a good Thanksgiving. I think I'm posting this the day before Thanksgiving, so I hope you had a lot of fun at Thanksgiving. I love you guys so much. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media. This is my merch, by the way. I'm Rudolph. My social media and everything I'm wearing on my face will be linked down below, along with a link to register to vote. That's right, you can go register to vote and you can have a part in the democracy of America. Sounds like fun to me. And if you're not from the US and that link does not apply to you, please make sure you're staying informed on what's going on in your country. You're just aware of your surroundings. The world absolutely needs more of it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!